Hi, my name is Jeremy. I'm with your local news here, and we got a great story for you here today. Amy's going to lead you off with the story here.
I don't know our Prince Hamlet of Denmark. Actually, his father recently passed away, old Hamlet. Since then, there has been a disturbance of ghosts in the area, especially the guards have seen them. Horatio tried to talk to this ghost, but it wouldn't talk to him, so they got Hamlet and see if, since he's a higher rank, then he would talk to them. Hamlet actually got to talk to the ghost. Horatio actually saw them talking together, but he never actually knew what they talked about. After his meeting with the ghost, Hamlet started acting very strange. His love notes and letters to Ophelia ended then.
His father's died, and he's a little bit distraught over this. And then not only that, but his uncle Claudius actually was able to take over the throne, and now married his mother, who is kind of betrayed her daughter and a lot of people by her son. Sorry, I'm sorry. Got a little caught up. But anyway, so she kind of betrayed Hamlet by this. I mean, and a lot of other people. She just kind of already like less than a month after her husband, the king, died. She didn't really mourn him, and you could tell that that's had an effect on Hamlet. And in fact, I mean, he's one of the only women in his life. The other one, Ophelia, his girlfriend, he's kind of stopped talking to her, and it's kind of strange. You wonder why would he stop talking to her? He's acting all nuts. He saw his father's ghost, and we don't know what he said to him, but I mean, you gotta assume that it was something a little radical.
Well, you have to look at this through Ophelia's point of mind, everyone else's point of mind. They don't know that he's talked to the ghost. None of the guards said anything, or Horatio said anything. They swore not to. So.
Yes.
So, sorry, I just stopped. So, Hamlet's encounter with the ghost actually showed a lot of things. I think Hamlet actually figured out a lot of the behind the scenes of the current events that occurred, like the death of his father. Mm-hmm. I think since that has been disturbing him, the ghost has been here to answer his calls.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that the ghost, he could have said something along the lines, maybe your father was murdered. I mean, it was kind of suspicious, poison by a snake. It could have been very easy to fake that and make it look like an accident, and and to kill the king. And obviously, you got to think, like, who would do that? People who would gain from that. Well, obviously not Hamlet. He loved his father, thought he was a great man, but his brother Claudius. This is very possible. I mean, he's kind of been in the shadow. He's the king's brother. Well, now if he and this is totally just speculation, but if he had killed the king and taken over the throne, got his wife and everything, now he's in control of Denmark, that could be a motive for killing the king and stuff like that, and that's just gonna hurt Hamlet, And I mean, there's lots of other things that have made Hamlet crazy and do weird things, but if Hamlet had known this, obviously he's gonna, he's coming up with an idea or a plan of what to do. He's gonna not want to have his Ophelia involved in all of this. He loves Ophelia, right, Amy?
I feel like her emotions are really stirred up by this. Hamlet's been acting really weird, and she doesn't know anything about this. Her father he thinks he's a know-it-all. He likes to spy on people, likes to know everything. We're literally. Polonius, yeah, he likes to know everything. He's actually a nobleman, and he's very close to the king. He thinks that Hamlet's madness is due to Ophelia's love. So.
I mean, you're on the right direction there. I agree with what you're saying. Polonius, he's just a strange guy, and then he's going to get himself into trouble that way. So I mean, obviously we don't think that Hamlet is obsessed with Ophelia to the point where that's what's making him crazy. We got to know it's in another direction. And if he really thinks that it's Claudius who might be behind the murder, then I mean, Hamlet's a smart guy. He knows that he's got to figure it out. He's got to find the truth out for himself. And when they had that play the other night at the castle, he actually changed the script. Hamlet did, and the play was about it was the same situation. If this was true, same scenario. Brother poisons the king in the ear, and then obviously the brother poisons the king in the ear, and the king dies, and he takes over. And I think that Hamlet may have been trying to catch a reaction from Claudius, trying to figure out what happened, right?
Yeah, and he really did get a reaction from Claudius. Claudius stormed out there. But I feel like it stirred more emotions in Claudius than anyone else, which is what Hamlet was going for. And that definitely cleared up things for Hamlet, I think.
Yeah. Right. So now that we're back, okay, we were talking about how Laertes could become a problem for Hamlet since he killed his father. So Hamlet is on his way to England, and he was sent there by Claudius, obviously. And Claudius is trying to get rid of Hamlet, sees it as an opportunity. His friend is the king of England. He might be using this opportunity to take care of Hamlet, to get it to, the king could kill Hamlet, get him out of the picture. But he finds out that Hamlet's going to return. Well, Laertes during this time has actually come back. Amy?
I think that Laertes is very
easily manipulated.
I think he's very easily manipulated right now. Of course, he's very sensitive, and he's seen his sister go crazy, and his father died without any honors. So, of course, he's very vengeful, very easily manipulated, and that's what Claudius sees, and he takes that opportunity right there.
Yeah, I think he uses this opportunity, Laertes, to be a part of his plan to take care of Hamlet, because he knows Hamlet's coming back. He's got to figure out something to do. He's got to like maybe poison him. I don't know. He could poison a sword or something. You never know. But I mean, then there's Laertes, who his sister has now drowned herself in a well, could have been an accident, could have been on purpose. We don't really know for sure. But so now he's dealing with the fact that his sister's dead, and he's got to attend her funeral. And this is kind of like he was driven mad because she was driven mad because her father was killed by Hamlet. So this is all going back to Hamlet. Laertes is really upset with Hamlet right now.
Alright, so after they learn about her drowning and everything, even though she might have done it herself, they're still going to give her a funeral, proper burial. So they're at this funeral, and they're about to, they've already dug a grave for her and everything, they're about to put her in the grave. Well, Laertes, who is...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry, okay.
I was a little bit
Alright, Laertes, who is very in love with his sister, very, have a lot of kinship with his sister. Yeah. He jumps in there, very crazy-like, and pronounces that he's the only one who loves her so much, and he loves her the greatest amount. And Hamlet, who has been just looking off on the side, is like, does he not know that I love her too? And he just wants to, being, just a sucker in love, he jumps in there too and claims that he loves her more than Laertes.
Yeah.
And of course, Laertes is ticked that Hamlet even makes more ticked that he's questioning his love for Ophelia. So...
Yeah, I mean, Laertes is just... They get in a fight in the grave. It's kind of a big deal. They're fighting over who loves her more. Obviously, Hamlet's upset because he really does love her, and nobody knows that he was just trying to keep her, out of all the problems. Didn't want her to get hurt or anything. And so this is kind of set the stage for the final scene. What's going to happen is they're gonna have a duel. That's the way they decided. They're gonna have a duel.
The sword's still sharp, and he still puts poison in it, and Claudius still puts poison in the drink just for backup. But you have to think Laertes actually at this point in time does not feel as revengeful as he did back then, but he still goes through with it.
Yeah.
Claudius is still, he's still very determined to kill Hamlet. So he keeps trying to get Hamlet to drink the poison, drink the poison, drink the poison.
And Gertrude steps in, and she drinks the poison unknowingly, of course. And now Gertrude is dead.
And right before she dies, she says that she is poisoned. So there is some
like a hint in Hamlet's mind that something has gone awry.
Yes, and they're still fighting. Laertes and Hamlet are still sword fighting, and during the sword fight, Laertes actually cuts Hamlet with the sharp poison sword. So Hamlet has that poison in him already, so he's doomed for death right then and there, but he does not die. During the sword fight, the swords get mixed up, and actually Laertes gets cut too by the same sword.
Dun dun dun.
So Laertes actually ends up
dead. But before he dies.
Yes, before he dies, he ends up confessing that
it was Claudius. Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert. So Claudius is actually claimed guilty by Laertes at this point in time. That he says that Hamlet, don't worry. I know that you didn't kill Polonius and you didn't kill me.
On purpose.
On purpose. Well, it's not his fault that they both died. And he dies without any vengeful thoughts of Hamlet. And so Hamlet, hearing all these thoughts, he still has the poison in him, but he is still able to keep moving. Once Hamlet figures this out, he goes after Claudius and stabs him with the same sword that will kill Laertes and Hamlet in the end.
Forces the poison down his throat.
Yes, and so the king actually dies a little bit after that, which is actually very sad. Do you think he deserved it?
I think he died in a fine way. For a king that was a traitor, I think that he deserved that. He was not only stabbed, but Hamlet did kind of force him to drink the poison, and his demise wasn't like the best timed. He wasn't kind of caught in a horrible act, but I think Hamlet was very happy. It was his last chance anyway, because Hamlet knew that he was poisoned at this point, and Hamlet died shortly after. And that just kind of wraps up the entire tragedy, these tragic events that have occurred in the recent weeks. Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight. Thanks for listening.